Welcome to the PowerHouse, a podcast dedicated to ideas that shape character, discipline that builds power, and wisdom that stands the test of time. Here we explore life, leadership, and purpose, one essential truth at a time. Here is what you did not know about freedom. Freedom is one of the most desired ideas in human history. People have fought wars for it. They have sacrificed their lives for it. They have written constitutions and philosophies around it. And yet, many people who are technically free have never felt free at all. Freedom is not the absence of laws. It is not the ability to do whatever you want, whenever you want. True freedom is something much deeper. In this episode, we will explore the essence of freedom, not as rebellion, not as indulgence, but as self-mastery, clarity, and choice. Because the greatest prison is not physical, it is internal. Let's start with the illusion of freedom. Modern life promises freedom everywhere. Freedom of choice, freedom of expression, freedom of lifestyle. Yet anxiety is high. Distraction is constant. Focus is rare. Ancient philosophers would not be surprised. Epictetus, a former slave turned Stoic philosopher, taught that freedom is not about circumstances. He believed that a person could be enslaved physically and still be free internally, or free externally and enslaved by fear, desire, and impulse. If your emotions control you, you are not free. If your habits dictate your behavior, you are not free. If your attention is constantly stolen, you are not free. The essence of freedom begins with recognizing what actually controls you. The Stoics believed something radical. They believed that discipline creates freedom. At first, this sounds backwards. Discipline feels restrictive. Rules feel limiting. But consider this. The person who cannot control their impulses is controlled by them. The person who cannot delay gratification is enslaved by short-term pressure. Self-mastery expands options. Lack of discipline shrinks them. Modern psychology confirms this. People with strong self-control experience greater long-term satisfaction, better relationships, and more autonomy over their lives. Freedom is not doing everything. Freedom is choosing deliberately. The essence of freedom is mastery over the self. Let's talk about simplicity and detachment. Lao Tzu taught that freedom comes from simplicity. The more you need, the more you depend. The more you desire, the easier you are to manipulate. Modern life encourages constant wanting, more status, more validation, more possessions. But every unnecessary desire creates another chain. When you reduce what you need, you increase how free you feel. Detachment does not mean apathy. It means not being controlled by what you cannot always have. The essence of freedom is not excess, it is sufficiency. Freedom and responsibility are inseparable. Every real choice carries consequence. This is why many people avoid freedom. They want options without accountability. But freedom without responsibility quickly turns into chaos. Viktor Frankl believed that freedom must always be paired with meaning. Without meaning, freedom becomes emptiness. True freedom asks difficult questions. What am I willing to commit to? What am I willing to sacrifice? What kind of person am I choosing to become? The essence of freedom is not escape, it is commitment by choice. Apart from the worldly freedom, we also need mental freedom in a distracted world. Today, attention is the most valuable currency. If you cannot control your attention, someone else will. Notifications, noise, comparison, constant stimulations, these are modern forms of captivity. Mental freedom requires boundaries, time alone, silence, focused work. The freest people are not always the most connected. They are the most intentional. When you reclaim your attention, you reclaim your life. The essence of freedom is ownership of the mind. Freedom is not found in doing everything. It is found in choosing what matters. Freedom is not rebellion. It is restraint with purpose. Freedom is not the absence of limits. It is the presence of direction. If there is one truth to be remembered, remember this: you become free the moment you stop being controlled by impulse, fear, and distraction. Thank you for listening to us today. If the episode challenged your thinking, share it with someone seeking clarity and control. Until next time, stay disciplined, stay intentional, and keep building your inner power.